Welcome to our Getting Started video for Exponent Faces extension for X-Ways Forensics. We begin this demo by launching X-Ways Forensics and creating a blank case file called Faces Demo. And then from the Tools menu, we will run our extension. And once the license window is gone, we're presented with our Library tab. This is the list of all the extensions in the Exponent library. And to begin, we're going to locate the Faces extension here in the bottom right. We'll click Run Extension. And I have to keep shrinking the window here only because we're doing a video, so it's a smaller window size. Now the step-by-step process is very simple to follow. The first step explains the search scope. We can search only tagged items or the entire case file. Now in this case here, I need to stop because I now realize I forgot to introduce our video evidence. So let's back up here just a second. And let's go here and let's add a directory. And on our system here, we have a directory under our test data. We'll click OK. And here's a bunch of videos we have here. Now just to give you a sense as to what's in these files, here's a bunch of thumbnails. So you can appreciate we have a crowded sidewalk, we have a festival, a marathon, another marathon, so a few marathons, a few marketplace, a lot of people, an office party, and just some people outdoors here at the Opera House. So I wanted to give you a sense of different locations, multiple subjects in the frames, different lighting. So that is the video directory we just introduced here. Now to begin, we have to tag the videos we want to process. Now you could say do the whole case file, but this is obviously much more surgical and recommended. So we've selected our video files. In fact, what we'll do is, because this could take a few minutes, we're just going to randomly select a few videos. So we'll select this one, we'll select this one, the office party, and the Royal Opera House, and let's also do another marketplace. So we got like 4 or 5 videos. Next, we go to the Tools menu, we rerun our extension. Or I should say we run Exponent, and then once the library window comes up, we click on Faces to run the extension. And then we're back to step 1 where we left off a moment ago. Now step 1, it defaults to search only tagged items. In the bottom here we have video actions. Because we're dealing with video, we can extract the frames. And then as frames are extracted, over to the right here, we want to detect faces. We also have the option to create a clip, which is basically a start and finish somewhere within the video, and add that to our case file. That's not the purpose of this exercise, so we'll skip that. We can also create a clip again and extract frames, whereas the one before it did not extract frames. But for this case, we're just going to extract frames. So step 1, extract the frames from the video. And then step 2, we want to detect faces. In another video, we'll show you how to also match faces. But for now, we just want to pull out faces and show you the potential here. Step 2 talks about the settings. This is the precision level. Basically, how hard do you want faces to work at the clarity and quality of the image? If we set it to a low, we can work with more grainy videos, maybe CCTV kind of stuff, low quality. But medium tends to be the better one and above. And the reason why we say that is because when you get to low and least precise, you'll get some odd results. Not many, but you might get some odd results because you're basically lowering the bar. The next thing we want to do is enroll faces. That is not part of today's exercise, so you can see the the step itself says skip this step, and we don't have that option available. We also can configure video processing options. This is also not available because we're not using the face matching option. Finally, we get to the option about extracting the frames. Now, by default, it will process the entire video, which is what we want. If you got into frame extraction down below here, you could set it at different intervals by seconds. You could even do it by 4 frames per second, 24, 30, or any custom down below here. We'll leave it at the default for the frame extraction rate at 1 second. And you know what? As I say that out loud, let's break that down to, let's pull out, we're going to pull out 5 frames per second. So that's 200 milliseconds times 5, there's 1 second. And then finally, we have the option to optimize the processing. If you have a really big picture, say 10,000 by 8,000 pixels, you could enable image resizing because Faces doesn't require such a high resolution photo. However, we recommend leaving this alone because if you're processing multiple pieces of evidence at the same time, one resolution of one video might be different from another. So best to leave it at the original resolution, and the only trade-off is a performance hit if you have high quality videos. So we only recommend to play with this if you're secluding the high resolution videos by themselves. Having said that, we can now commence our video scan, and as it's processing, it'll pull out video previews, or I should say face previews. And you can see here it's running pretty fast. One thing that is possible is to run a second instance of the extension. You could run it through here. We recommend to consider your computing power and the evidence you're going through before you start multitasking. If you have a high-end machine, multiple cores, multiple threads, lots of RAM, then by all means try different extensions at the same time. Maybe you want to process some cloud mail or mobile messaging. So these are options you can play with. It's a multiple tabbed, multi-threading interface, but use it with some consideration about what it is you're examining. So I'm going to pause the video here for just a second. I'll come back to you when it's nearing completion. But as you can see, as it's processing, it's pulling out the facial previews. And this is only every couple seconds, but there's going to be a lot more for us to see. So I'll pause the video, and we'll come back here in just a moment. I came back just a little bit early here for a second. I wanted to show you what kind of information is being processed. If you look to the center of your screen where it says current task, as it's processing this current video, Marathon 1, it's extracting frame 34, 35, 37 of 52. And that's because we configured it for every 200 milliseconds. And if you look at the caption here, it's incrementing 9200, 9400. So this is following our option settings. It gives you a pretty accurate time remaining, and this time remaining is per file, so it's not an overall time remaining. And you can also monitor up above how many faces were found, how many videos, etc. As I was saying, if you take a look up here, we have pictures, 531, faces found, and videos, which ones we've scanned. We've scanned 4 so far out of 5. So we're getting near the end here. And it gives you also how many bytes the evidence that you are collecting has created. Now, what I should also tell you is that as this is being done, each frame is being added to our case file, and the frames are added as child objects to the actual video file. From there, the faces captured per frame are added then as a child object of the frame. So this gives you a very granular way to collect the evidence, present the evidence, and disclose the evidence. So we're just going to hang on here just a few more seconds and wait for this to finish. Let's see, we're on to our fifth and last remaining file here, and it's going to take not that long from the looks of it. So in a minute we'll have a completed media scan, and then we can go back to X-Ways and take a look at the results. So we'll just wait for this to finish. We also conveniently add memory usage statistics so you can keep track of how many threads and memory are being used on your system, just to show you some efficiency. And we're almost done, so here we go. There we go. So we can now close the tab, close the window. And now, if we recurse everything, we can see all the faces that have been created. Now, we can go by the label, and we can see the frames. And let me just stretch this into view here. We use the gallery. So here's all our frames. We want to change the labels and just look at faces. Look at all the faces. So you can see it's collected quite a few faces. And one other feature we have is our facial recognition engine will also do a pretty good job at detecting gender. And you can also see the males. And so we'll just go back to our faces. So that completes our introduction to the Exponent Faces extension. And we invite you to take a look at the next video, which will talk about face matching, and we'll either combine the clip or video clip extraction component in the same video, or we'll do another video. But this has a good starting point to get started, and if you have any questions, reach out to us to support at apiforensics.com. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in future videos.